What's up, everybody? Back to Talisharin around. Um, Today I'm going to be playing Azalea. I had a few videos on Dromai, and now I want to switch it over. Azalea is my first love in this game, and a very fun hero to play. Unfortunately, her mechanics were a bit left behind, but hopefully... Ooh, this is not good. Hopefully she got some new tools to like really help her out. I've drawn 3 2 blocks and a no block though, so just gonna try not to leak damage here. Fantastic. Didn't die. Blocked with 3 of my pumps though, which is pretty unfortunate. Let's see what we find on top. Just a take aim. All right, we'll draw that later. Actually, that take aim's not too bad if this Heat Seeker hits. Getting that in Arsenal. I haven't been loving Heat Seeker because it's, it's really powerful, probably in Lexi and in general, because it's card advantage, but it doesn't do what you want to do against aggro, right? You're not like hampering your opponent in any way. So against a deck like Fi or something, it's maybe a bit underwhelming when you hit with it. You're like, okay, I got another card, but it also goes face up, which triggers aim counters. Great, but you don't get to Skullbone Crosswrap at the beginning of next turn. So this is maybe my second draft of Azalea. I played a few games to get a feel for the new bow, but this deck is like far from optimized, right? I'm, Red Warriors Valor classic. I'm sure I'll make plenty of changes to the deck in the future, and it's this isn't a deck tech, right? This isn't a showcase of what Azalea can do. This is more like I'm trying to figure it out. Well, this is unfortunate because now I have to use my defense reaction on this Ironsong Pride. But they are out of resources, which is weird. So they're not going to get to swing again, but they will get a counter. Yeah. I'll stop that counter from hitting. Over blocking for 3, but this will even block an Iron Song and, still blocks a counter, which is just fine by me. And I have this nice little 2-card combo here. Leave that on top. Unfortunately, if I had Tunic up, I could throw that, but we're still doing all right. One thing about Dori is not a lot of your arrows actually have very pertinent hit effects. You're not quite as good against Dori or Bravo as you are against, Fi or Briar, say. But the damage ceiling on Dori is lower, so you do stand a chance kind of doing this mid-range game that I've been trying here. I think they're really banking on this Ironsong Pride, so that was a well-timed defense reaction for me. Oh, nice. Defense reaction of their own. No tunic up, though, so didn't get full value. That's pretty good for me. Now, unfortunately, this is a bit of a weird hand, but with my tunic up, I think I can make something of it. Well, or I could just block and fire Remorseless back. Maybe that's the play. Rarely block a Naked Dawnblade for exactly the right amount. Ugh, dang. Got me. Still not hitting, though. So they have to go over the top and then swing also. So like a blue and a D react. But my bet's they're just fishing. And didn't get it. Or got a CNC. Which is entirely possible. All right. That's pretty good. I would love to play this Deadeye, but I cannot. So here I could play Remorseless. Look at the top. Or I could play Drill Shot for 7, no Arsenal. So I think I'm going to play Remorseless. I think the... oh, right. Still yellow fatigue shots. Not great. Yellow fatigue shot doesn't do much against Dori. The yellows are still in because they're just main boarded. They're also a resource card. I gotta say, it's fun. This was the first game of Flesh and Blood I ever played. Was Azalea against Dorinthea. And some of my oldest memories. It's a lot less cards for either one, granted. Boy, awkward hand. Blocks 5, though. All right, we'll just pass there. Ooh, man, I really need to find a pump. Hopefully I can opt and hit a pump. I don't want to block this to trigger Reprise, but the bottom line is I actually have extra cards. So I am going to block it. Actually, this drill shot's worth more than the fatigue shot. Oh, that's pretty good. Ouch. They don't have any resources, so they're not gonna, yeah. All right, let's see. We're gonna try to get a pump here. Awesome. Although, to be fair, that does not work with knock. But we're gonna leave it on top. Azalea it in. We don't have much of a choice since we have no other pumps. Leave that on top as well. It's quite good. And then I'm just going to fire the sleep dart for 8, I think. Waste of cards, but when you get routed, what are you going to do? And then I think I'll arsenal the drill shot because it's a bit more flexible. I can save the knock for resources or to play out. See how that goes. So with this deck, I tried to go 50% arrows, just so I hit off the top with the bow fairly often, or like see an arrow, load an arrow out of hand, and then Azalea it in, either way. And I think I have like 20 pumps or something, and this is all including resource cards as well. But we'll see how those ratios work out. I do have a number of yellows, like I have 21 resource cards or something like that. Interesting. This is a weird armor block because they're not fully blocking me out. Unless they have a sink. I have a few extra resource cards because some of those cards I would like to play. And the yellow arrows block for 3, so at least there's that. Although, to be honest, this is a bit underwhelming. So, I really would like to just fire my whole hand here. So the good thing about this, right, is that because Sleep Dart hit, this card draw doesn't really matter unless they're playing plenty of attack actions. And this is kind of a classic mistake, right? They use like this armor block just to make themselves feel better about the damage exchange, but they should have saved their armor for... They should have saved their armor like to block out a relevant hit effect, like next turn. Well, that was a pretty good amount of damage, but get that on top. It doesn't much matter. Ooh, shoot. I forgot I'm unable to pay for Overflex. Oh, yeah, I can. But then I won't have an arsenal. Let's go get a red in the ledger, which does affect Dori. Although, judging by them running yellow shunts, I feel like the odds of them having a defense reaction in Arsenal are fairly good. Whoops. Nope, don't want to do that yet, although the aim counter doesn't really do anything, actually. Whoop. Shit. Oh, right. I forgot I don't. Most decks I play, it like asks you to pass when you activate Tunic, but I guess because I have no instants on deck, it just skips me, which I'll have to remember. Azalea is so much fun to play. This mechanic of the Skullbone opt and the slotting a card into Arsenal, Death Dealer drawing a card, or Sandscour looking. It's just very, I don't know, very meditative. Feels really good. Hopefully they don't have a defense reaction because I mean, either way, they're not going to block it all out, but it would be nice to just push more damage, to be honest. Fantastic. So even this is not the greatest against Dori because you can still play attack reactions. She can't swing Dawnblade twice, but still is able to you know, swing Dawnblade, then like double attack reaction me or something, like really push damage. So we're not in the clear yet. Haven't gotten a counter yet though, so that's nice. And I'm lined up with a pretty good hand here. Remorseless isn't crippling, but I can still throw 11 damage, and I can opt to see if I have an arrow I can dominate. And this is not relevant. I don't think this is relevant because they don't have a D-React in Arsenal. Otherwise, I think they would have used it. Unless they're saving it for something they could actually block, which I guess would be smart. And looks like we're just going to trade damage here. This Azalea deck is not built like in the good old days where you had to fiercely limit your 2 blocks because Dori was so prevalent. Now it's like, I just made this, I was like, whatever. I do think I also have Fates actually in the sideboard, which maybe I should have put in. All right. It's also really nice playing Azalea now that she has like a sufficient number of cards. You know, before it was always just like nimblism or whatever. See if we see an arrow. So I sent that down. Still don't see an arrow. And actually, I think I'm going to save this because I get more value out of it, arsenaling it and swinging it next turn. Right, because I can just apply it to the arrow next turn and then also get to Skullbone with it. The only argument for doing it here is it's like more likely this arrow will hit, and I push more damage if they're like reluctant to use their hand. But you know, this isn't that crucial of a moment, I think, to merit that. Yellow and blue shunts. Great. But this is okay, right? Because now they just have a 2-card hand. Ooh, and I have a super deadly hand. Wow, this is pretty... Ooh, except I can't. So basically I could do all this, but I wouldn't be able to play release, right? Because I need to pitch. I need to pitch one of these, play the other one. And then I also need a card in Arsenal to like dominate. Oh, this is pretty good though. So the smart thing to do would be to block this. Okay, so if I block with armor in this, what can I do? I could still red in the ledger for 8. Right, this way I'm like getting another card this way, but I think I just have to make the smart play here, unfortunately. Because otherwise I'm just taking 6 damage to deal 3 more and strip a card. That's actually like fairly pertinent, I think. Let's do this. See what I have on top. I kind of don't think Hornet Sting's worth it, but it's pretty fun. Yellow drill shot. They took a damage. Yes. So what they're going to do there, right, is activate Tunic, then swing again, and then they're threatening a counter for 3 damage. All right, let's look at this first. Oh, right, it's a drill shot. So basically I can sand scour. Yeah, we'll leave that on top. See, this is where the new bow still has the card advantage of the old bow, right? Like drawing a card is more consistent, I think, but the manipulation with cross wrap was sometimes a little bit clunky. Whereas this way, it's like really smooth. You miss out on that consistent like extra card, but you're able to, you use cross wrap. You're able to like Azalea in a pump, then just play Azalea in an arrow. With dominate, you're able to do all kinds of things like leave an arrow on top, load an arrow from hand, Azalea it in. There's all kinds of plays you can make. So here I am going to grab this arrow off the top so then I can play Memorial Ground and then dominate it. And seek and destroy them, which is pretty fun. And this is a good opportunity since they don't have a D-React in Arsenal. Sometimes in the good old days of playing Azalea, I would get Remorseless instead if I was unsure or thought they were like playing quite defensively. Although, to be honest, like this turn, Release the Tension would be redundant anyway. And boom. Pretty good turn. Still mitigated that damage. I just used all of my armor. So this turn they could swing Dawnblade and then just hit me with 3 attack reactions, which would suck, and get around this whole like seek and destroy play, but which it looks like maybe they do, since they just took all of that. So I do have... I do have some options here. Problem is, I don't know if I can get an aim counter to make Deadeye worth it. Oh, that's pretty good. They definitely should have blocked with a card last turn, though. Okay. So, yep, we're just gonna trade this damage. Be pretty wild if they pummeled me. That would explain holding the cards. Oh, they did pummel me. Shit. Wow, that sucks. All right, touche. Touche. And I can't even take cover of this. All right, so what do I want to do then? I do have to discard a card. Boy, that sucked. I think now we're down to just firing an arrow, arsenaling, take cover. The problem is like, if Heatseeker hits, or I could play Deadeye. Maybe that's the call. It's just nice to have take cover in the arsenal against Dorinthea. But I think I'm going to choose to play Deadeye onto Heatseeker. Wow. Great job, take cover. Really got him there. Oh, the CNC pummeled me on the Red in the Ledger turn. Very good. Hilarious. Shout out to Shin. That's like a Shin maneuver. Okay. See what we got on top here. Oh, Red in the Ledger. Nice. Ooh, this is a dirty hand. About time. I've been missing arrows on the top, though, so this is really nice to hit this one. Yep, I'm going to load this. I'm going to play this. It's nice to line this up. Once a game, Deadeye plus Red in the Ledger with an aim counter. Well, apparently they have an instant. Oh, they have Tunic. That's why. They could have a... We haven't seen any red shunts yet. I don't think. No, just yellows and blues. So 1, 2 yellows, 1 blue. So they could very well have a shunt and mitigate some of this damage, but that's even more cards out of their hand, I guess. So this will give them something to think about. Oh, yeah. We got a shunt. They get really good value out of this, so it's 1 card blocks for 5 now that they have Tunic up. Oh, and it's the red. Here, I'll just reset this. This turn. Okay, what did I do? Nope. Let that. Play this. There we go. Red sounds pretty good though. Well, obviously the red warrior's valor. So the best thing, so they can't attack for 5 next turn if I don't block. Oh, they can't even. I have to remember they have those. So if they attack for 5, so if I block and it triggers reprise, it'll be for 7. So I'll still take 4 instead of 5. That's still technically better. It also makes it so they don't arsenal it. I guess here I would take 3 and then they'll use it. I do kind of want to preserve my life. If you get too low against Dori, you just die. Oh, so they are saving the blue overpower. Definitely just gonna drill shot here. Or whatever we got. Yeah, this is pretty good, actually. Nice. Yellow Bolton shot. So you've seen a couple times in this game how the you've seen a couple times in this game how like this bow does kind of have a different kind of card advantage. Ooh, this is pretty good, actually. Heat Seeker's good to hit here. I was thinking I won't have an arsenal, though, with this play, but turns out I will. I mean, it seemed like this lines up really nicely, right? Or like seeing red ledger on top. But I also had a number of turns where it's like I opt and just see a pump, or I like pay for the bow and just see a pump, and it's like there's nothing I can do. And I think the way the deck's built with half arrows, you know, we've had 9 turns so far. This, it's like kind of normal for this play pattern to line up X amount of times per game. Nice, and a sleep dart with a name counter lined up. Classic Dori. Blocking's almost worse. So all I can do here is play this blue overpower or play 1D react from hand. And I need to just save an arsenal, really. I think I'm going to block this, just maintain some life. Yep. Oh, shoot. Misplay. Now they're going to bolters me. But with no, it's been a while since I played Dori, but with no tunic up, they can't bracers, so they can only attack for 3 on this follow through, which I can then also block. Wanted to save a card in arsenal, but whatever. So this is a pretty good play. One of the nice things about aim counters is they persist, right? So like this has been here since last turn. I'm also excited to see how aim counters are further developed in Outsiders. Yep, that's a bummer. They could block with Tunic, but then Deadeye hits, and they're just, you know, screwed either way. So I have no pumps. And all arrows. So this is a bit awkward. So I think my best play is to just get a Remorseless. So then they can't play a D-React from Arsenal. And if they have a yellow or blue shut in hand, they can full block it, actually. But I don't really have a better option. Let's see what we have on top here. Oh, looks like they have a shunt coming up. Overflex on top, not great. Okay, so now that I know I have Overflex on top, I can change this to do load this arrow, Azalea Overflex in. Oh, I can't afford that. Load this arrow, Azalea Overflex in, so then I swing for 8. Dang. Now I wish I would have pitched this Memorial Ground. Dang, if I'd pitched this Memorial Ground, I could maybe not win, but do pretty well right here. Okay, so we're just going to go for stripping cards. I think this is the best play. I feel like that wasn't the best play. Is there some way to do that to get a pump dominated arrow? I don't know. All these play patterns are new. but we're figuring it out. That's what we're here for. This player said they're new, but they're like, except for blocking with armor inefficiently, they're pretty proficient with Dori. Oh, since June, that's pretty good. I guess they're going to shunt here. Yeah. Oh, they're over blocking. Protect themselves from the rain razors. Pass. Okay, so what am I looking at here? I'd really rather not block. So if I opt and see an arrow on, well, I play this. Oh yeah, I think I got him. Right, because I play that, I reload this arrow, and then I Azalea. Yeah, okay. Ugh, damn it. Well, it looks like you're getting a counter. Trail shot on top. Yep. Oh, right, nothing in arsenal. So it doesn't much matter. Play, take aim. Reload. Should be a good game. They have a bunch of Oasis spites in hand. Nice. Yeah, so there's a, second draft of Azalea, I guess. I do really like the new bow. I don't know if it makes her good. She still kind of does one thing, right? Like I could try Rabbles and E-strikes and stuff in the deck, make it like a bit more aggressive and a little less consistent. But, she still like attacks for 8, dominate, hit effect. Probably still good against aggro, not so good against like Dromite Guardian. But it's like pretty fun to play, and the fact that you have all of these cards now that are like hers, so you're not running like Nimblism and Nimble Strike, or like all these kind of filler cards. She actually has enough cards where you can sideboard the correct arrows for the match. You're not just running hamstring shot because it's like you only have so many arrows that do anything. Yeah, pretty fun. The new bow, like I said, is a lot less clunky. It's before you were trying to hit Opt 2 to be able to choose which card you drew with Death Dealer and which arrow you dominated. Opt 1 didn't help you like enable Azalea's ability very often unless you had like reload, but then you missed out on the card draw. So it was always like a little bit like this or that. Now it feels like you're just kind of, it's a bit more fluid. The only thing that's unknown kind of is it's like you have to hold an arrow. So if you whiff off the top, you can still load an arrow from hand. But it ends up being that like you can load that from hand. You can dominate an arrow in. If you do hit something off the top and it ends up you have an extra card in or an extra card in hand, you can just throw it in arsenal. Because because of these play patterns, you're less upset if you arsenal an arrow. It's pretty good, pretty fun. So I guess that's Azalea. First impressions. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.